Kid here. This is a strange one. Obviously, the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau, which I don't know if you were listening very much when me and Fitz did the segment last week. I actually was for it. I think that Tom Thibodeau is an old defensive, grunt man, and the Knicks need new offense and they need new blood. I don't give a rip about the Villanova Knicks. They overachieved, in my opinion, this year, and I think the front office made the decision that if they were not going to win the championship heading into the playoffs, that Tom Thibodeau was going to be fired. But in my opinion, this thing comes out of what field, and I have a hunch, Mr. Unger. I have a hunch that the only reason why Jason Kidd could potentially become a member of the New York Knicks is because the New York Knicks brass have been in contact with a certain superstar who is known as Giannis Antetokounmpo. And they have made it very clear that to Giannis, if they get Jason Kidd, they will find a way to pry him out of Milwaukee. I think that's the only way it makes sense for Jason Kidd to make this move.
Well, the Dallas Mavericks don't have to say yes to the Knicks. They can say, nope, Jason Kidd is not leaving. We've got Kyrie Irving coming back. We've got Anthony Davis, if he can stay healthy. We got Klay Thompson. We've got Cooper Flag on the way. We're not letting Jason Kidd go. They could tempt him or basically steer him away from the Knicks by having him sign another contract extension or something. But he does have a relationship with Jalen Brunson, but I don't know if Jason Kidd would be that much of an upgrade over Tom Thibodeau. I really don't.
Offensively, he would. I don't think it'd be the difference with the Knicks over the top next year. Again, I think they need another good player. I think they need a Kevin Durant, or I think they need a Giannis. For Jason Kidd, I'd look at it like this. Yes, I'm going to have Kyrie Irving. Yes, I'm going to have Anthony Davis. Yes, I'm going to have Klay Thompson. And yes, I'm going to have Cooper Flag, who I think, and I've already been on record, I think Cooper Flag could be the next face of the NBA. That's how good I think he could be in 3 to 4 years. But that is 3 to 4 years from now. And you look at the West versus the East, we've already talked about this, how much deeper the West is than the East. If you're Dallas, because of the injury situations and the histories of Kyrie, AD, and Klay Thompson, you basically have 1 year to win the championship, which is next year. So does Jason Kidd want to try to win the title next year in Dallas in a very loaded West? Or does he want to try to get just back to the NBA Finals with a very good Knicks team, which if they run it back, theoretically they could make the finals. But again, I think in order to win the championship, and if I'm Jason Kidd, in order to go there, I need reassurance. I don't think Kevin Durant would be enough to get Kidd to make the move. I think it would be the guy that he had a relationship with that he coached in Milwaukee, who apparently loved him there when he was the coach, and that's Giannis. But I can't believe the Bucks would be willing to trade Giannis to the Knicks. I just don't believe that.
No, I don't think the Bucks would do that. Plus, I don't know if
the only way they would trade Giannis to the Knicks is if Giannis says, "Boys, I don't want to be in Milwaukee anymore, and the only team I want to play for is the Knicks." Then I think maybe.
I don't know if the Knicks have enough to get the Bucks to do a deal for Giannis. I don't. When I look at what the Knicks have, they only have one.
I think it would be Cat, Anunoby, and a couple of firsts.
As far as I know, the Knicks only have one first round pick because of some of the deals they've made for Cat.
Because of the Mikal Bridges trade mostly.
And Mikal Bridges. So I don't know if the Knicks have enough I don't think the Knicks have enough to get the Bucks to do that deal. I don't.
Let me ask you this. If you're in Milwaukee, do you sit there and you go, if we get Cat, we're probably punting next year, but for the next couple of years, we could get Dame, Cat, OG, maybe get some more talent around him, get another first round pick. Is that enough?
I, I don't think so. I don't know. After the year Cat had, I'm not sure.
Here's the other thing though. If you're Jason Kidd, as I just talked about, yeah, I got Cooper Flag, who could be great, but we really don't know yet. We're projecting. Yeah, I got AD, I got Kyrie, and I got Clay, but I got to go through OKC. I got to go through potentially Houston. I got to go through potentially Minnesota. I got to go through potentially the Lakers, potentially the Clippers, potentially the Spurs, et cetera, et cetera. And what happens if a San Antonio or a Houston, like I mentioned, get Giannis? Then what do I do? Then, in my opinion, you go straight to the East.
Yeah, but that's the thing is who's are are the Spurs willing to give up like Castle to potentially get Kevin Durant or Giannis? I don't know. The Spurs are the best positioned to get Giannis or Kevin Durant because they have the two lottery picks. They have some tradable contracts, but is that what Milwaukee is looking for? Phoenix will take anything at this point. It feels
Yeah,
like
I think Phoenix is about to unload Durant here as soon as the finals ends. I can see it happening the very next day. They may already have a deal in place for the team. We don't know.
if I had to guess, they already have a deal in place with San Antonio, I think.
See, I don't know if they're willing to trade Durant in conference. I would think that you would trade Durant to the Knicks.
I I can't see them trade anybody in the East trade having the assets to trade for him.
See, to
Like for
me, if I'm Phoenix, I take Mikal Bridges and picks and I rebuild. I would even talk about trading Devin Booker and I'd completely tear the thing down.
I mean, you did just hire a. Has he ever been a head coach in the NBA?
Nope, he was an assistant with the Cavs.
Yep. And I know the other assistant coach is a candidate for the Knicks, but it does sound like they really want Jason Kidd, and it's going to come down to do the Mavericks allow them to talk?
Because here's the thing: if I'm Jason Kidd, if I talk to the Knicks, I'm not coming back to Dallas. If I talk to the Knicks, I'm getting the job. So I basically have to find out from the Knicks if it's my job to lose, and then I have to talk to the Mavericks and find out, are you going to allow me to make the decision or not?
Well, the Mavericks would have to trade him to the Knicks.
Well, here's the thing. There's no way they give Jason Kidd permission to go talk to the Knicks, and then he doesn't get hired by the Knicks, and then they bring him back. I don't see that at all.
This all comes down to the Mavericks. Do they allow him to talk with the Knicks?